So, it's been 3 years since Mario's adventure in galactic exploration. The first outing on the Nintendo Wii was a triumphant success, becoming one of the Wii's best sellers. With the first game, Nintendo has somewhat reinvented Mario, pushing the limits of 3D movement and freedom. I thoroughly enjoyed Super Mario Galaxy, and it was really the system purchaser for me. But let's stop talking about the past and focus on the present. I guess, what was the present a few years ago at this point? Super Mario Galaxy 2. Released in 2010, Super Mario Galaxy 2, while keeping a lot of what worked in the first game, adds plenty of new and fun elements to an already great format. Since the basic premise of the game is already set up by the first game, this one jumps straight into the adventure. The premise is somewhat similar if you've played the first game, or fuck it, it's the same basic Mario shtick. Enough said. The princess is captured and you have to go kick some ass. Originally, Super Mario Galaxy 2 was just supposed to be a newer game called Super Mario Galaxy More, the first game with more added content. During development, the team at Nintendo had so many ideas they wanted to do that they decided to make a separate game altogether. Anyways, getting back to the game. At the start of this game, Mario is given Starship Mario, a big ship-shaped head, a big ship shaped just like Mario's fat head. You meet a Luma called Luba, who offers to travel with you, as he is searching for the missing Lumas that Bowser has captured. Also in the beginning of the game, you are finally reunited with Mario's favorite sidekick, Yoshi! Jeez, Nintendo, that only took what, like 20 years? Anyways, you set off on the adventure. Unlike the first Super Mario Galaxy, Super Mario Galaxy 2 doesn't feature a large, needlessly complex hub world in order to travel to each galaxy or planet. Instead, Nintendo made the smart move and brought back the classic overworld map. Or in this case, over galaxy map, I guess? Making progression and level selection much easier and faster. So you move around each map, selecting levels and collecting power stars once again. The majority of power-ups from the first game return, with the exception of Ice Mario and Flying Mario. You could only be Flying Mario in a single level, and Ice Mario really wasn't that useful unless you were running across water. The new abilities gifted to Mario are the Spin Drill, which allows you to burrow through the ground to reach new areas, Rock Mario, which allows you to transform into a Goron and smash into stuff, and lastly, Cloud Mario, which allows you to create 3 small clouds to reach new areas or cross larger chasms. Let's change gears for a minute and talk about Yoshi. He basically operates the same as he did way back in Super Mario World, with some new abilities for his first romp in 3D. You can still gobble enemies using his tongue and the hover jump, but there are new fruits that Yoshi can eat to gain temporary powers. These include the Dash Pepper, which makes you run like you just ate at Taco Bell and need to find a toilet. The Blimp Fruit allows floating while in the air. And lastly, the Bulb Berry, which reveals secret pathways. Taking damage while on Yoshi results in Mario getting knocked off, and just like before, Yoshi will run around till you hop back on him. Luckily, unlike Super Mario World, if you fail to catch Yoshi again, he'll just turn back into an egg, which is nice, instead of, having him run off a cliff or some other dumb shit that forces you to lose him. Oh, and you can also use Yoshi's tongue to latch onto special flowers to launch you up to new places or across pits. Overall, I was floored when I heard Yoshi would be in the game, and would be rideable. To me, having a game with Mario is fun and all, but having Yoshi just puts it that much more over the top, in my opinion. Along your journey, you'll face off against a myriad of new bosses and enemies. Some, again, returning, and some new. Some of the bosses include Bowser Jr., Womp King, Pee-wee Piranha from the first game, and my personal favorite, Gobblegut. They all have different attacks, and the method to defeating them is usually pretty simplistic. You make your way across several galaxies, and upon defeating Bowser himself twice, and Bowser Jr., you arrive at Bowser's main fortress. As per usual, Bowser's stage will test the player, as it's comprised of several smaller parts contained within a single level. After fighting through multiple hazards and enemies, you destroy Bowser for good. Well, at least for this game. It's also revealed that the comet which was being held captive by Bowser is none other than the Comet Observatory, Rosalina included. Mario and Princess Peach return home and everything is right in the universe. Super Mario Galaxy 2, while having a good chunk of the enemies from the first game showing up again, also sports some new additions. These include Flapstacks, which look like something from Angry Birds, Romps, which are part of the Thwomp family, but unfortunately are only found in a single galaxy, and Mattermouths, which I think are part of the Drybones family tree. Prankster Comets return, but in this game, they are caused to appear via collecting comet medals, as opposed to appearing at random like they did in the first game. Graphically speaking, the game looks fantastic. While there appears to have been a slight improvement in the graphical state from the first game, it's just that. Slight. Don't get me wrong, the game is still gorgeous to look at and run around in, but being released on the Wii, as was the first game, you can't really expect too much. The audio side of things also fares well, with the majority of sounds being pleasing to the ear. The soundtrack, thankfully much like the first game, is fantastic as well, and really leans more on a symphonic note, with none of the pieces really getting irritating, regardless of how many times you hear them. Overall, Super Mario Galaxy 2 is an awesome game. From the gameplay to the enemies, from the power-ups to the levels, from the bosses to the music, it's all solid gold. Super Mario Galaxy 2 was the last game I owned before I sold my Wii, and I'm glad it was so. Looking back, there really wasn't any other games I wanted to play for the system, so it was a great ending. If you've never played it and you own a Wii or a Wii U, give it a try. If you don't have either system, it's perfectly playable in Dolphin. I'd recommend at least having a quad core. You won't regret it. Thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing. Go explore the universe.